today is a very special holiday. It's called Halloween. So let's talk about Halloween. Me and my friend recently saw this on the big screen, and it is a classic. Without Halloween, you would not have Jason, you wouldn't have Freddy, you wouldn't have all these slashers that you do now without Michael. So we got to give our respect to Michael. Now, I'm not talking about the remake to Halloween, the sequel to Halloween, and then the other sequel to Halloween titled Halloween. I'm talking about the original 1979 version of Halloween, the first film titled Halloween of the Halloween series. Because there are way too many movies in this series that are also titled Halloween. It's insane how many movies in this franchise are titled Halloween. But this is the best Halloween movie. There is no question. This is the best. What's really great about this movie is my friend asked me after we saw it in the theater a while ago. He said, "Who made that film?" Because it felt so much like a film me and a friend would go make with our camera. There's a lot of tracking shots and a lot of really easy stuff to film. There's not really too much ambitious filmmaking when you really think about it. This is like a very low budget movie, and that was kind of the thing. This movie was made for a few $1,000s. Is considered one of the most profitable films ever made. Not most successful or highest grossing, most profitable, because it was this film that kind of you made really cheap and then you can make a bunch of money. And that's kind of what the horror is. Horror is low budget movies that people make that make a lot of money because there is a big audience for horror, but they make more money because they're cheaper. And Halloween is the best example of how that it helps a film. Because this film is low budget, it's able to just do what it needs to do and nothing else. There's no shiny, cool stuff about it. It's pretty simple. Michael, after killing his sister on Halloween night in 1963, this isn't a spoiler, he is locked up in a mental institution and he escapes to wreak havoc on his hometown once again. That's it. It's pretty simple. Most of the movie is kind of slow, actually. It's perfectly paced. It's not a boring slow, but it's a lot of, you see glimpses of him. He just stalks people. You don't really know too much about him. And the mask is horrific because it's supposedly a William Shatner mask that's spray painted. But when you watch the majority of the film, it looks like part of his skin spray painted on. It is horrific. It is nightmare inducing. The amount of simplicity put into this film is fantastic. John Carpenter supposedly composed the score for this film in the amount of 2 days. This is one of the greatest horror scores of all time, besides Gary Goldman's score for Poltergeist and things like that. It is incredibly well done. It is beautiful. Just that horrific piano sound. Try to listen to the Halloween theme and go down to the mailbox or something. You'll probably start running back because it really gives you kind of that stalker feeling, and it's great because that's what the majority of the movie is. It's kind of invokes that feeling of someone constantly watching you. This isn't like Jason or Freddy would get later on, where they're very violent and stuff like that. There isn't too much actual violence in this movie. A lot of the kills are kind of they're not even that gruesome as we would come to see in slasher movies later on, because this was kind of the first time this has been done. And so this movie is kind of one of the weird slasher movies. It's just, it gives you everything you need in a pretty short time. It's not even it's less than 2 hours. It's paced very quick. It's paced very efficiently. It has a great score. It's fantastic. I mean, the only thing I would say that is an issue with this film, and it's always going to be an issue with this movie, is the performances. The performances here are terrible. They're horrible performances, and they're great. The filmmaking here is great, but the performances here are horrible. And I don't know if it was a directing problem or what, but they were terrible. And there's no denying they're terrible. A lot of these actors have done way better performances later on in their career, but it doesn't really matter because what this film does, it does so well that you can excuse that part of it. And it wasn't like, hey, the actors were just being lazy or whatever. Yes, it's still a problem, but it's not so noticeable that it ruins the film. It's still a great classic slasher movie. If you've never seen Halloween, it's Halloween. Check it out.